Hello, KB, and welcome to our story of the week. You can see the cover of our story right here, and the title of our story is An Orange in January. So it's kind of cool that our story title has the name of the month in it right there, January. So it's really fitting that we're reading this story in the month that is in the title of this story. Now, let's talk about this story a little bit before we read it. This story is going to be a non-fiction story. It is about something real. And in this story, we are going to learn what happens after a fruit grows on a tree. So, that's kind of exciting. We're going to watch a fruit grow on a tree and find out what happens after it's ready to be picked and where it goes. Okay. Our story was written by Diana Hutz Aston. That is the name of the author of the story. And the illustrator is Julie Marin. She is the person who designed the pictures in the story. So, when we read this story, we're not only going to learn about what happens to a fruit after it grows, we want to think about what the story is all about, which is the main idea, and some of the key details that we hear in the story that tell us more about that main idea. So, if you're ready, I'm ready to get started and we can jump into our story, An Orange in January. Let's do it. Check out the wonderful illustrations on our first page here. It says, in a land that glowed with spring light and orange blossomed. So we have a bunch of orange trees here, and it's springtime, and the oranges are starting to blossom. Bees feasted on nectar sweet as honey until So this sentence is not over yet. It's going to continue on to the next page. The petals fell away and the orange began to grow into what it was meant to be. So I know that in nonfiction stories, they can give us information in a certain order or a sequence. First, the orange blossomed, which means that a flower appeared. Then the petals from the flower fell off, and the orange began to grow. These details tell about the order in which things happen as an orange grows. So we're learning about this in order. Is this the size of an orange when it's all done growing? No, look how small it is. So we're learning how an orange becomes an orange first. It grew slowly and steadily, fed by the earth's soil and the ocean's breath. Soaked with rain and drenched in sunshine, the orange grew plump and bright until a hand, brown with seasons of sun, plucked it from its branch. While dew still glittered on the leaves, its days of growing were over. But there was life in it yet, and it still had far to go. So, on this page, we learn that the days of growing for the orange are over, but it still has so far to go. I think that this could be one of the main ideas in this story, that even when oranges are done growing, their journey is not over. We have to learn where the orange goes next. from bag to basket. Now, we can use this page. So we saw the oranges being picked, and now we see them going from the person's bag into a big basket. Where do you think the oranges are going to go next? There's a hint in the picture right up here. So after they're in the baskets, we can see a man loading those baskets into a truck. From truck to truck. So let's stop and think about what has happened to this orange so far. First, the orange grew on a tree. Next, it was plucked from the tree. Then it went from a bag to a basket. And now it's going from a small truck to a bigger truck. It followed the skyway over mountains, across deserts and plains, until the orange arrived at a grocery store. There it rested, aglow with the goodness inside it. Until. So now we found another place that this orange has gone. So it started to grow on the tree. It was picked. It was put in a basket, then a small truck, then a big truck, and now we're at the grocery store. Until two hands, small and soft, took it from the pile and called it the best one of all. So we learn another detail here about what is happening to the orange next. The illustration shows that a boy came and picked out the orange. The text says that his hands took it from the pile and called it the best one of all. That is a very important detail to our main idea, which is following the orange's journey. Carrying it home, the child felt its roundness and imagined himself a juggler, a clown with an orange ball, a pitcher. So, in this part of the story, the boy is imagining all the ways he could use his orange. He could use it to juggle. He could pretend he's a clown with a ball or a pitcher playing a baseball game. That night, as ice gleamed on the branches, he dreamed of a land that shone in summer light. So now he's dreaming about his orange. When morning came, the orange reached the end of its journey, bursting with the seasons inside of it. So look at what is happening to the orange. What do you think the end of this orange's journey is going to be? Well, we can see the boy putting the orange inside his lunchbox. I wonder if he's going to take that lunchbox to school and eat the orange for lunch, which could be the end of that orange's journey. Let's find out. And two hands, pink with cold, shared its segments so that everyone could taste the sweetness of an orange in January. So look how this orange's journey ended. The boy from the story is sharing the orange with his friends. You can see that each one of his friends is getting a slice of the orange. So think about how far this orange has made it in its journey. It started as a blossom on a tree. It grew into a plump orange ready to be picked. It was picked and put in a bag and then a basket. The basket was put on a small truck. The small truck carried it to a bigger truck. The bigger truck carried it to the grocery store. The boy picked it up with his hands, took it home, and then brought it in his lunchbox to share with his friends. This orange went on quite a journey just to be enjoyed as a snack in January. We will talk so much more about the main idea of this story and its key details back at school, but thank you so much for enjoying this story with me today.